This is On the Couch with Dr. K, a show focused on answering the questions of urban and hip-hop adults rising to reach personal stars in daily life. Now, here's your host, Dr. K.
Good afternoon. You're on the couch with Dr. K, and I am your hostess, Dr. K. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful afternoon. And today is Say Anything Sunday, and I almost feel like I should say this is On the Couch during the Power Hour with Dr. K and Karen Febles.
That would be fun.
Yes, exactly. I feel like I should say that. I should
Thank you.
Acknowledge your greatness.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm with a great woman, so
well, thank you.
We just shine brighter together.
Yes, exactly. Well, everyone, this afternoon we are doing something different. This is Say Anything Sunday, and it's an opportunity for the listeners to sound back, to send in comments and questions, ideas for shows, say anything they want to say. And so I have been given several things over this week, and I understand you've gotten some questions and comments as well.
Yes, indeed.
So I think we should just kind of, dig in and see what people have to say. How about that?
How about that? I'm in for it.
Okay, good. Well, actually, before we go into that, I think I want to read the first piece of information that I have here, which is actually from Tiffany Smith. And she sent me information about I'm not having a baby shower.
That is awesome.
Yes. And it is Healthy Choices, Paving the Way to a Positive Future. And actually, this will be happening on this Saturday. So it'll be the day before we actually air this particular show. But hopefully people will have sent their kids to Wooddale High School. I talked about it last week. And this is sponsored by the National Coalition of 100 Black Women and Sweet Peas Gourmet. So hopefully this will have been a great time. I'll be the keynote speaker here. And
wow.
Yeah, so at 9:00. So it will have been, at Wooddale High School, which is on Scottsdale. So I think that is a great, I think it's going to be a really, really good event.
Definitely. We need a positive input about, our children and, show them a different option.
Exactly. A lot of times we're always talking about what not to do. We say, don't get pregnant, don't drink, don't take drugs, but we don't talk about what to do.
The other option.
Exactly. And so that's what I hope to talk with the teens about on that day. I hope to talk to them about what things they can do.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
because there's a lot of life
role
out
model.
there.
Yes.
Exactly.
You are a role model.
Yes.
And, being African American, I'm Mexicana, I'm Latino.
Okay.
So, we need to show our kind, but it's just, it's about being human.
Yes, I was going to say we can show humankind.
Exactly.
About how to best be humans, how to live your life to the fullest. Because I think when we're talking with teenagers about, don't have sex, don't drink, don't do drugs, it's really about live your life to the fullest. And when you do things out of turn, it will block your pathway to what you really want to do in the future. So I think really focusing in on what they can do will distract them from doing things maybe they shouldn't do so early.
Exactly. That's music to my ears. I said it with different words,
right?
But it's the same message.
Right. Everybody just, everyone wants love, peace, and happiness.
Exactly.
And that's what you have to do. You have to do things right and in order, I think, so that you can reach that goal of love, peace, and happiness.
Exactly. It's a daily choice.
Yes, I totally agree with that. So before I get started with some more questions, you said someone contacted you and had a question.
Yes. I have a friend that he's an engineer.
Yes.
He basically, what I find fascinating is that he makes more money selling cars at this point in his life because he's just graduating.
Wow. Okay.
So he doesn't have the experience.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
For being an engineer, you have to have, like hours of flight,
Right.
almost,
Okay.
for you to start getting, paid more
Experience.
money. Exactly.
Right.
So he asked me a question. Actually, it was 3 questions.
Okay.
The first one was, what was your fear when you went to a car dealership?
Oh, okay.
Which that's a good question.
Because you've sold cars before? Or?
No,
You're in sales, though.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've been in sales since I was 14.
Okay.
So for me, sales is just like a second nature.
Yes.
And I told him, the fear it was about the salesperson. What kind of person is going to take care of me? Because by the time you are in a place where you're going to buy a product or
Yes.
a service,
Okay.
you already have that
You're primed for it.
50%.
Exactly.
So the other 50% is how do they treat you? Mm-hmm. Who's going to take care of you?
Yeah. You want to be, you want to feel good. You want to
Exactly.
feel wonderful about your purchase.
Exactly. And the fear is this person just wants my money.
Yes.
They don't care
Isn't that a fear in life, period?
in life. Exactly.
In relationships, everything.
Everything is what do you want from me?
Yes, exactly. Is this an authentic exchange or
An
is
honest
it?
exchange.
Yes. Is it honest or are you just gaming me?
Exactly. And that's, I think, our biggest fear in life.
Right.
And,
Yes.
as you're walking into a car dealership, you're already going to spend the money.
Right.
You're already there. And as a woman, I can say, we make a lot of the decisions if you are in a marriage or in a relationship in regardless of your own car.
Right.
So it's, more than one time I had a mistreatment from a salesperson to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
But, you kind of develop a muscle after
Yes.
a certain time. So, I told him that was the fear, but also the solution. I said, once you make the person comfortable with you, if you're looking at it from the sales point,
yes.
you have to be honest. I mean, you can't be thinking about how am I going to grab their money.
Right.
You have to listen to the person. How much money do you have? What do you want to drive? What, and kind of have that comfort level.
Right. So it sounds like you're saying think about the sale as a service
Exactly.
that you're offering to that person. And rather than just trying to push your product on them, try to think about it in terms of how can you understand that person's need and help them to meet their own need. Like you're there
Exactly.
as a helpmate for that. I think that was a good piece of advice. Good.
Yes,
good.
thank you.
I
I
like
think-
that. Yeah.
I think it's a team effort. Sales are a team effort. For the whole economy to work,
Right.
we need to have each piece, like in a clock,
Yes.
working in certain position, in certain tune, if that's the correct way to say it
Right.
anyway. 'Cause I'm an engineer in
Right.
Mexico, and I don't know, not in
Okay.
Mexico, in Spanish, I will say. But
Okay.
anyway, a lot of words, I don't know how to use them, but I'm getting there.
Right.
But, the second question was about, after you think about the economy and how that wheels, then you go to, it was asking me, what was my worst experience? What I hate, which I already answered that in the first place.
Right.
So but I did tell him one thing,
What?
and I hope you're listening. I don't hate. That was my answer. I don't hate. I might not enjoy something.
Or you just had a negative experience.
Correct. But, I just don't, that connotation of that word
Right.
kind of brings a negative feeling.
Yes. I understand.
So-
that's good. I like that.
We focus in a different, like you were saying a little while
Right.
ago, focus on the good, not in the bad.
Right. And you know what? When you were talking earlier about as a woman having negative experiences, that leads me right into a few things we're going to talk about after this first break, because it sounds like sometimes in exchanges with people, sexism comes into play. And it comes in a lot of different ways.
Ooh, yeah.
So right after this break, I actually have 2 questions from people who Facebooked me earlier this week, and they smack right into sexism. So you're on the couch with Dr. K and Karen Febles from the Power Hour here on AM 990. We'll be back in a moment. Are you considering buying or selling a home and don't know where to start? Call Sharon Brown of Cry-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271. To learn more about the services offered by Sharon Brown, visit her on the web at www.sharonbrown.cry-like.com or like her on Facebook today. Her success comes when your home is sold or you have the keys to your new home. Call Sharon Brown of Cry-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271 for all your real estate needs today. Photography is so much better than reality. Marcus Edward Mediascape is a great photographer. Instead of purchasing plastic surgery, let him do all of your photos today. Try Marcus Edward. He is the plastic surgeon of photographers. Contact Marcus today at www.memediascape.webs.com. And you're back with On the Couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K, and I have with me for Say Anything Sunday, Karen Febles from the Power Hour right here on AM 990. So before we break, we were breaking, whatever. We were breaking.
Past tense. We're good.
We were talking about sexism, and I had a Facebook friend who says to me, and his name is John. Hi, John. He says, why do you not have women on your show? Well, first of all, I do have one today, but thank you for asking that question, John, because it is true that in general, I have male guest co-hosts every week from different walks of life. And the reason why I do that is because I did not want the show to become kind of a male bashing, women just talking with each other. I wanted to have people who would have a different outlook from what I was saying. So since I'm already really feminine, I thought that I would bring masculinity into it by having the different male co-hosts. But it's not a hard and fast rule. But in general, that's the reason why.
Contrast.
Yes.
Balance.
To
that's
create a balance.
Okay.
And contrast to, because I think when you're giving advice, people can take parts of it and parts of it they leave out. And I think if I'm here as a woman and then I have my co-hosts who are men, I'm clinically trained. They're usually not. They're usually trained in whatever area they're from. So that brings just a different perspective on whatever topic we're talking about. So that's the reason, John. Thank you so much for asking that question. Now, this is an idea for a topic. And when I read it, I thought, oh my. This is from Ford. Ford says he believed that we should talk about the sexism that exists in the Memphis Police Department. And let me tell you, he has a different spin on it. He says that there are women out here who actually brag about getting out of speeding tickets because of the male police officers, and that they also make fake orders of protection and false police reports on men. But whenever he gets pulled over or men get pulled over, they get searched, they get harassed. A lot of negative things happen to them because they are male. Wow. So he believes that we really need to discuss that. And I had never thought about, that issue that, there have been times when you will hear a woman say, I got out of a ticket because I cried, or, I showed a little cleavage, or I blinked my eyes or something like that. And I don't know if I've ever heard of a man getting out of a speeding ticket.
No, there's actually one of my favorite shows, Friends. Mm-hmm. They had an episode where she gets out of a ticket.
Okay.
And then he tries to do the same, and it's hilarious. So they put it in a comedy part.
Didn't he end up getting arrested
Yes,
or something like that?
Yeah, he was trying to do the same. It didn't work.
No.
And it was funny, but at the same time, it's something that happens.
That's true.
And as a mom, I believe the Ruth, because I have 2 little girls.
Right.
The Ruth is how we teach our children, how we teach our kids. And it's my dad always told me not to show anything and just to use my brain.
Okay.
At the same time, it was too hard on me, but it was good.
Okay.
So math and biology, chemistry, that came first.
Right.
But now I'm kind of saying, it's not wrong for me to show my legs. If I want to show them, I mean.
Very nice. You're showing them today.
Thank you.
Very nice legs.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But it's not a tool to get what I want.
Right.
Meaning not use sex or sexiness or anything related to my body or body parts in order to achieve my goals.
Right.
And I think that's what we're teaching the wrong way to our children, male and females. It was just we're inheriting this and passing this to our kids.
Right.
And it's exactly going back to what you were saying at the beginning. We have another choice.
Yes, that's true.
We can be kind, and it's not getting out of a ticket.
Right.
If you already did something wrong, pay for it. Be responsible.
Yes, that's very true. Very true. I agree with you. Very boring. I'm sorry. Some people do that. Some people really do that. But to get to your point and also to get to the listener's point, I agree with you. It can really escalate to something that can really, really be dangerous, because if you think about it, if an entire police force has a prejudice against males,
we have a problem.
That's when you end up with little babies who or children who are male getting killed.
Exactly.
Because they're automatically viewed as being dangerous, as being criminals, whereas women who may be dangerous too, or criminals as well,
I agree with you,
are maybe getting a pass. So I think that is going to be a great topic. I'm not sure exactly when we will have that on as a topic, but I definitely will have that.
That will be extraordinary.
I think it'll be great.
Because I met, due to the circumstances of my life, faced with how do you call that thing again? Protection order?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Order of protection.
I had to do that. I was involved with police officers, and I was in the exchange club as well. So I experienced that in my own skin.
Okay.
So I do know that there is prejudice, but at the same time, the force is extraordinary.
Yes.
And there are people that use the system and abuse the system, but the majority and the vast percentage is about goodness.
Right.
So
okay.
Bringing that topic out and talk about it and start making an impact, and a positive impact, especially. I think also the officers. I mean, think about it from the officer point.
Right. Exactly.
Who do I believe?
And it could be that sometimes we do things without realizing we're doing it.
Exactly.
So it could be something as simple as bringing this to the attention of people, because I do believe people go into law enforcement initially because they want to do the right thing and they believe in orderliness. So I think maybe bringing this topic up, this point up, will kind of open the eyes of some people. Now, some women may hate us in the end.
Strongly dislike us. Yes.
Exactly. Strongly dislike us.
Strongly they like
because we will maybe eliminate the advantage that women have. But
you see, it shouldn't be an advantage to
it
begin
should not.
with.
It should not. I agree.
It takes two to tango.
That is very
We
true.
are a team, males, females. It's just that we're supposed to unite.
Exactly.
Not to fight.
Exactly. So we have to have some equality there. So we will definitely look into that particular topic. So thank you so much for that, Ford. That is going to be a great topic. So, wow. Okay. Oh, So I have another one. Oh, this is a comment. And this is from Marimbe John Evans.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And he is from Uganda.
Uganda.
Yes. And he says that Dr. K, your show has changed my life through education and programs. Thank you. Uganda needs presenters like you. Oh, my. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That is very, very nice of you to say. And I realized that I was reaching you because you and I have spoken several times on Facebook, but to have a comment like that, I really appreciate that.
It gives your life a purpose.
Exactly. So thank you
I'm
very
happy for
much.
you. Yay.
So right after this next break, we will take some of our other questions and comments. So you're listening to On the Couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K, and I hope you're having a great Sunday. Streeter's Total Beauty is a hair salon that invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of beauty today. Dial 901-649-0559. Look to Randa Patton Streeter's lifestyle blog, which also invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of high fashion and glamour. Like her on Facebook today. And you're back. You're listening to On the Couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K, and I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Today is Say Anything Sunday, and we have talked about a lot of different topics already, just looking at things people have sent in and questions. And I do have another question here. Wow. This is from Carmen. Carmen, yes.
Ay. Hola, Carmen.
And Carmen says, Carmen says, why is it that women who are married tend to grab their husbands whenever an attractive female walks by them?
Fear.
I'm going to let you start with that. What do you think about that?
Well, I never felt that. I was married. I had, relationships before, and I never felt that.
Okay.
That fear of losing something that I love.
Right.
And I think women in general go back to the society and the way we are, we absorb our influences and our external.
Right.
We tend to believe that we need to fight against another woman to protect what's ours.
Very much
when
so.
I don't believe that. I believe that it takes two to tango. And if the person that is next to me, it's going to do something that I don't agree with,
right?
Well, fine. He won't have me anymore, but,
right.
Do whatever I cannot put a prison on a person.
Right, exactly.
But I think we have fear as women, and we don't understand that. At the beginning, it's kind of especially when you don't feel good about yourself.
Right.
You feel like somebody's going to steal it. So that's just an opinion.
And I definitely agree with you that it seems like there's maybe some insecurity there, on the part of that woman, or it could be that maybe, there's been some infidelity.
That too.
In that relationship, and she's sending him a reminder, to
like a tool.
Keep your eyes straight forward there, buddy. Or it could be fear. It could be anything. I think sometimes too, though, that single women need to make sure that we're not being too sensitive about it. Maybe she's grabbing him because she loves him, and she just decided to grab him at the moment you were,
it's not an aggression towards you.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Or maybe they both think you're really pretty, and she's making him, saying something to him. I think probably the best thing for us to do is to focus on ourselves and focus on how we think and what we like and what we want to do. That way, even if that woman is having an issue with you, you won't know it because you are having your own day and you are creating your own rules and you are basically reaffirming yourself, even if this woman is not able to affirm who you are as a person. You don't need her affirmation. You don't need
validation.
Exactly.
From nobody but yourself.
Because you know who you are as a person. But that is a great
It's an awesome question.
Because, you know, it just seems like a lot of times married women and single women are almost pitted against each other. And it doesn't have to be that way. Because I think that, you know, there are great things about being single.
Yes.
And there are great things about being married.
Exactly.
And you have to focus on the great thing that is existing within your current situation. And if you don't like your current situation, then focus on what you need to do to change that situation.
Exactly. And I have one comment about that.
Yes.
I don't know if this might be surprising, but do you know that my best friends that I have, I will say that I know they have the best marriages.
Okay.
Are the ones that they're my real close friends.
Okay.
Because the females don't feel threatened because they know me and they know the husband and you see what I'm going with this?
They let you hang out with them.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's when you realize that they really love each other because they just enable them to fly. And, you know, they're not afraid because they know at the end of the day, this, and I have more than one friend that I'm not going to say their names.
Right.
But they have this magical thing.
Right.
With their wives. And it's just a beautiful thing. And she's not like that. I have friends that even the wife says, look at that woman. She's gorgeous.
Right.
And when you can achieve that kind of trust and love, I don't think you have to worry. You just live your life.
Yes, I think so. I think if you're talking about a really good relationship, it should be two best friends who happen to think the other one is hot. You know, so that's what you want. You want two best friends and they think the other one is hot. That's and that lovely. You know, and that's the difference there. And so what would you say to your best friend? You pal around with your best friend, you joke around with them, you know, you express your opinions. And so
your family,
who wouldn't you want to express your opinion to? You want to express your opinion to your best friend. And hopefully that person is your spouse. So we're going to move on because I have 3 more questions here. Okay. Wow. Since we're talking about male and female relationships, this is from Quince. And his question is, would you date a coworker?
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. No, I cannot answer that.
You can't answer.
That first,
everybody in the room went like, ooh.
Well, I can tell you from the owner's perspective, to have people, you know, dating, it makes my owner job more complicated, or manager. It gets complicated. But I don't have a bad comment about it. I mean, it's if the relationship is beautiful and it blossoms, and if they each can put that to the side,
still remain professional.
Exactly. I don't think it's a problem, but it's complicated.
I know, and I think his question is more, you know, would you date a coworker? Not would you even have a rule about it? Because I do know there are some organizations
that they don't
allow it. But personally, you know, do I think it's a good idea? I think it's really about where you work. Yes. Where you work and the nature of your dating. Like, would I personally risk my job to casually date a coworker? No, I would not. Because that I would think just can create a lot of negative behavior and feelings and outcomes. Would I date a coworker who I thought was my soulmate, the love of my life, and if I was not with that person, I would die? Then yes, but maybe then I'm not able to work in that place anymore or something like that. But I think it would have to be a really significant, pull or significant,
it has to be worth
yes,
your
exactly,
because you might face other consequences that you have to be willing to pay.
Yes. And people say, well, I can't even say the word they say, but they basically say, don't poop where you eat.
Exactly.
So you really want to keep that area clear as much as possible. And we all have heard about those people in the office who go around and they date every single person in the office, and it creates just a really negative atmosphere. So I don't think it's a good idea unless you have a really, really, really large building to work in where you don't have to see that person, or it's, your soulmate and you're pretty sure that you're going to. That you don't
know in 5 minutes.
Right, exactly.
It has to take a while.
Yeah, so I would definitely say you would need to be friends first and watch that person and really know that's the area you want to go into before pursuing it. Because I guarantee you, if you lose your job, you probably will not be dating that coworker.
You're not going to be happy about it.
And that person, I don't know, they probably won't be happy about it either. So, okay, let's go to our next question. And this is also from Quince. And I guess this would be a question about if you do find your soulmate and you're dating them, then what are the best summer vacation spots?
Ay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are the best ones?
Depends on who you are. Again, like you said
exactly.
before.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's got to have freedom, and it's got to be outdoors, and I just love adventure. But there's other people that don't like adventure.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah,
you are happy.
I mean, I like outdoors, but I also like for somebody to come and bring me stuff all the time.
That would be nice.
Yes. So, I think I'm fairly high maintenance sometimes when it comes to that. I know some people are just like, hey, let me just
for me.
hang out. And I was like, no. Yeah, I would like for somebody to come up to me periodically and say, may I get you another whatever it is.
That has a little umbrella?
Yes.
That would be nice.
A milkshake with an umbrella.
With an umbrella.
Exactly. But I do know that in the summertime, especially, if you like fun in the sun, a lot of people will even go out of the country. They will, they'll go out of the country. They will
Cancun.
Yes, go to Cancun.
4 hours away from where I was born.
They'll go to. A lot of people say negative things about Jamaica.
Jamaica,
but I love Jamaica. I have
Oh.
family there, and it doesn't take a long time to get there.
And you feel Bob Marley when you get there.
Yes, and everybody's like really nice to you, and it's cheap too. It's a cheap place.
I've never been.
Yeah, you should go. Stay on the main roads.
I will ask you for your advice before I jump.
Don't veer off at all, but stay where you're supposed to stay. But that's true anywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere, unless you really know someone or know where you're going and you're traveling, you want to stay with the group, or at least let somebody know where you're going to be, or have a plan.
Learn your environment.
Exactly.
Just be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. So after this next break, we will take our next comments. You are on the couch with Dr. K. I hope you're having a great Sunday. I'm here with Karen Febles from the Power Hour right here on AM 990. For legal experience experience with a Christian touch, call the law offices of attorneys Juliet Akins and Victoria Gillard. We stop foreclosures and repossessions. Other areas of our practice include personal injury, civil and criminal matters, divorce, child support, child custody, and Social Security cases. Call today at 901-522-0009 or 901-624-8852 for a free consultation. And you're back. We are on the couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K. I am here with Karen Febles of the Power Hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Right here on AM 990. Now, how did you start your show? What made you decide to go into radio?
It was a calling. You know, how can I, because everybody keeps telling me, how can you be so happy and joyful? And, you know, it seems like nothing bothers you. And it actually, it does.
Okay.
But I just don't let that too upset me. So I just fight it with light and joy and, you know, joy and happiness and all the good stuff. That's how everything started. And people believing in me and pushing me a little bit.
I like that.
Okay, I'm going to fly. Just don't. So that's how it started.
Great. I love that. I love that story. That's really good. And I like when people say they decide to go into radio because they feel inspired, because they feel like it's a calling, because then I think it's fun. You're not just doing things for ratings or because it's, you know, something that you think people just want to hear about, but you want to have a meaning to what you're doing.
I think that's what life is all about. You know, what I posted something on Twitter today. Life expectancy, 100 years.
Okay.
Today's chronological age, 36. I'm 36.
Okay.
So I have like a path to go. You know, I want to make a change in people's lives and have an impact and be joyful. I don't want to be 80 to start enjoying my life.
Yes.
It's today.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a certain job.
It'd have to be today because I don't know how many 80-year-old people are just, you know.
Have you seen this lady, the one that has the blue tongue, Grandma Betty?
No, she has a blue tongue.
Oh, you're going to love it. I promise you. Give her a chance. She's like 80 plus something and she's famous on Instagram.
Okay, and she has a blue tongue.
But because she got, that's just,
okay.
You're going to love her. I promise to you.
Okay.
It's, her blue tongue was because she's got on a treatment for cancer.
Oh, okay.
So she was given medication.
Okay.
But she stuck her tongue out. And she was like rocking it.
Okay.
So she's just becoming this extraordinary positive impact in people's lives because, you know, the song, Because I'm Happy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I know you use that on your show.
She's happy. You know, she makes me cry every time I see her, but out of joy. You know, this lady is dying in the dawn of her life, 80 plus year old woman.
Okay.
And she's giving people hope.
Right.
That you can be happy. You know?
Yes. It is a state of mind.
It's a state of mind.
It really
it's a choice.
It really is a state of mind, and, you know, mind over matter. People talk about that all the time, but I don't know if they really believe it. But you have to, because otherwise you will not reach those goals that you want to reach. In fact, on one of the shows, we were talking about people who are quote unquote slep rocks, and you probably wouldn't know about this, but there's a Art. Do you know what a slep rock is?
I have no clue as to what you're talking about.
Anybody here watch the Flintstones?
I know who they are.
Remember Slap Rock?
I remember that.
Yes, and he would always say, wowsy, wowsy, woo, woo, because he was always like depressed. I don't know what was wrong with him. But people like that try to get away from them.
Status quo.
Yes.
You know.
Be below the status quo. They're like.
Well, that's what they want. Mm-hmm. I was, married to one.
Okay.
There was nothing that was about happiness.
That's not
if
fun.
a fly was passing by, the fly came into the space. Well, okay. The fly landed on me. And
exactly.
If the fly didn't, the fly didn't pay attention to me. I mean, it's just...
Everything has a negative twist.
And that's how I became that positive, because I'm always positive, but I kind of became muscular happy about life.
Exactly. I understand.
Because it's... I started when I was in that space. I started feeling that way too. You know, like I have to clean up my hands, and so I started putting too much attention to things that don't matter.
You were doing instead of being.
Exactly.
And that's not how you want to be. In fact, someone sent me a text message. Let me see who this is. This was Tiffany. And she says we should do a show about people doing too many selfies on Instagram and Facebook. And Tiffany, you are correct. In fact, I just gave some information to someone who's writing an article about that in an upcoming magazine, and we'll talk about it more when I don't want to give it away. But that's an issue.
It is.
And that, again, is about self-image, how you feel about yourself, and trying to get validation from other people all of the time. Like you want to take a picture of yourself doing this and that and brushing your teeth and petting your cat and kicking your dog. Who cares? I just don't understand.
That care. Yes, it just, I guess from the clinical standpoint, which I have no idea, and that's what you do. It's different, the perspective, as from living it. The reason why I mentioned Grandma Betty is because if the message that you're sending is inspiring and you have a purpose behind it other than your own validation.
Yeah, that's different.
That's a different story.
That's different. But I'm talking about not
the clinical part when you get on.
Yes. Whenever you do anything to the point of where it is interfering with your daily activities in life, you have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
People can't enjoy the play because they're so busy taking pictures, at the play, of the play, and not really understanding what the play is about. Now we have a problem. I was at the Grizzlies game, and it was funny because they were about to make like the winning basket, and people almost missed it taking selfies.
You're kidding.
It's like, I'm at the game. But yeah, the game is actually being played. Let's watch the game.
Take a selfie in the first quarter or second,
exactly,
and then enjoy the rest of the game.
Exactly.
And when it's done, celebrate and take a selfie.
Yeah. So I think that is going to be a great topic when we get to it. I think it's going to be mirror, mirror on the wall. Do I have the cutest selfie of them all?
That is awesome.
So that's what we're going to have.
Yes, because it's not only about validation, but it's about bragging. It's either you need validation because you're beautiful or whatever, or because you want to be popular, or because you want to brag about it.
Right.
There's more than one.
Yes, you have to figure out why you are doing that. Are you doing it for a reason, to advertise something, or is it just because you want everybody to say, "Look at me, you're fine," or "You're hot," or whatever? So I think that's going to be a great topic. So thank you so much, Tiffany, for sending that. So, excuse me. I think we have really covered a lot of things here.
It was a lot.
We've covered a lot of things here. We've talked about what? Sales. We've talked about relationships. We've talked about prejudice and sexism, self-image. We've talked about the police, and let me make sure, I want to get to everybody's.
And about positive impact with not to get pregnant.
That's true. We talked about that, teenage pregnancy. And I'm used to having my my stats and my facts and my 4 points, and I don't have those today. This is a very different show, but I want to make sure that I get to everybody's comments here. So I'm looking on my Facebook page now to make sure I have not missed any person at all. Oh, okay. So I have here David, and he says a great topic will be looking at the parenting styles of single men versus the parenting styles of single women.
Please do a show about that.
Okay. Now, why do you say please?
Because we need we need a role model for parents that are divorcing.
Okay.
It used to be that a lot of people were married for a long time and they were parenting together. Now, when the family breaks apart and there's two sides, you know, which one is not better, but which one is going to affect less to the children and which one is going to help the children.
Okay.
Because and I saw this a lot and I keep seeing it,
Right.
it almost becomes a fight, you against me, who's better. And a father can never be a mother and a mother can never be
That
a
is
father.
very, very true.
And this,
very true.
This came from a wise lawyer, by the way. But, well, he wasn't my lawyer. He was just the partner of my lawyer.
Right. Okay.
A wise man, almost 80, extraordinary lawyer.
Okay.
And he told me that. He said, what did he say? Let me backtrack a little bit. He said, you can never make him do the right thing. And I said, excuse me? I was, you know, because I couldn't believe what was going on. And he said, all we can do is what the law says, but you can never teach a father how to be a father. And you can never teach a mother how to be a mother, meaning from the other standpoint.
Exactly.
And you can only be their mother. Don't try to be a father. And I said, ooh. So, but that has nothing to do in how to blossom a child.
Right. And I really, really think it's very important because I've heard a lot of people talk about this and compare this because, you know, it seems like it's a huge problem, especially with the boys. It seems like it's just really an issue when you have a boy who is being raised by a single parent, number one, which is going to be one of my topics already. And this particular topic is your son is not your man, because there are some single mothers who will have their sons and they convince them and they substitute them for a love life. And now when they try to have a love life, you really have a problem because you've been telling this little boy, you're the man of the house, you make these decisions, completely inappropriate, you know, and you have been doing everything with him. He's basically been dating you for forever. All of it's wrong.
You gave me goosebumps. Yes. I'm so excited about this.
So, and I think it's probably going to upset some women because I don't even know that they realize they're doing it.
They're blind. They don't realize.
And it really creates a problem because now he's going to have problems when it's time for him to date girls his own age. His expectations are all off. She's going to have problems when she's trying to date men her age because he's definitely going to block that as much as he possibly can. So that is a problem. Then one thing I actually heard from Elise, who is in California, and she coaches parents through their children graduating and going on to college. And she says she always has more problems with the single mothers. The single fathers tend to keep things in perspective, but she says a lot of her single mothers really have issues with boundaries with their kids, befriending them, just having them to substitute a lot for things they're missing in their lives.
Get you a cat.
Yes. So I think that's going to be definitely a couple of topics. So thank you, David, for that. I really appreciate it because we are definitely going to look in that area. And some other topics coming up will be, this one is one you may think this is funny, but it's about going from stripper to scholar. Because there are, yes.
I actually like it.
Okay, good. Because I remember when I was in graduate school, I knew a lot of young ladies who were exotic dancers and they were dancing their way through college. And I just always wondered, you know, what happened to them. Because I remember on graduation day, I looked around, I didn't see any of them. So I just, hard, you know, and I think if you make that choice to do that, then there are some steps you need to follow to make sure you're going to reach your goal. So I'm not going to comment about, you know, why you made that choice or whatever. You made the
Don't throw
choice, that's
stones
fine.
to others.
But
Yes.
if you make the choice and you're trying to reach a particular goal, what do you need to do so that you will reach your goal, which is at the end, you want to graduate and go on to another career. So that will definitely will definitely be one of our upcoming topics. So Karen, I just want to thank you so much. After you're finished laughing,
I'm just thinking about, no, you don't look good at 75 years old just going up and down a pole.
No, like even if you're the very best kept 70-year-old,
you might not make too much money.
My thing has always been who's cleaning the pole, like who's cleaning
never
that
thought
off.
about that.
I just think it's nasty. But the pole. So
Interesting. Ew. Oh my. No.
See, these are things I think about that nobody else does. So I want to thank you so much for being here for this special edition of Say Anything Sunday. And we will be listening to your show as well, The Power Hour with Karen Febles. And her show is from 2 until 3 right here on AM 990. And if any of you out there have other questions, comments, or topics, please send them to us right at onthecouchwithdr.k@gmail.com. You may also Facebook me, and you may also text me at 901-650-2569. And as always, in parting, I wish you a life full of love, peace, and happiness.
Yes.
If you cannot be in love, at least try to be happy. If you can't be happy, at least try to be peaceful. But if your peace has been disturbed, then you need to look for a new situation. Please remember to like us on Facebook at On the Couch with Dr. K. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you next week.